Hello guys and welcome to a new video. In this video I will start with a new concept of my roundup series. I was away during the Christmas holidays and I feel like I have so much I want to do videos about, but I can't do videos about every specific thing. So I will instead implement 3 palettes in this video and talk about what I feel about them and show you swatches and the looks, and I will also create a look with all 3 palettes in this video, so stay tuned. Before we start, I just want to point out that this is not a ranking video, it's just a way for me to showcase palettes that I have been using the past month or so, and without making like 10 videos about them. I hope that you will enjoy this concept. Let's start. So the palettes that I will be using and talk about in this video is all Christmas themed or winter themed. The first one is the Ladybug Glow Krampus Continued. I will show you some swatches and some looks I have been creating with this palette already, and I will roll the clips very soon. The next palette is the Mvndi Mvkevp Stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. Looks like this, and the same goes with this palette. I will show you some looks I have been creating with it and also some swatches of it. And last but not least, it's the Beautymoon cosmetics in the bleak midwinter palette. Yeah. And as promised, I will hopefully be able to create a look with those 3 palettes. We will see how it goes, but I think that it will be a fun way to implement all the different qualities of those palettes in one look. Eyes are primed and I will start out with adding a matte shade. And I think that I will start with the Mvndi Mvkevp palette and take the dark green shade. If you are new to my videos, you probably don't know this, but I never plan my looks, so this could go very good or very bad. We will see. I'm forming a shape here, as you can see, like a cut crease shape so far. I will repeat the step on the other eye, just so I don't forget what I'm doing. And I'm not very precise because I will clean it up later. Yes, that's what we have right now. Now I will go in with a dark grayish green matte from the Ladybug palette and add it underneath here to add some depth. Now I will add the only matte from the Beautymoon Cosmetics palette, which is a light blue shade, and I will use a fluffy brush and apply it above the green. I will go back with the dark green from the Mvndi Mvkevp palette and just apply slightly underneath again, because I can see that it disappeared a little bit. Now I will take a clean brush and just blend the edges. Now I will cut the crease. I will try to make a negative wing shape with the Mvndi Mvkevp palette. It's the dark brown shade that I will be using. I have just added some glitter glue on my lid and I will apply a shimmer on the lid. I think I will use a shimmer from the Beautymoon Cosmetics palette. Then I will go in with Decisions. And now this is where things can go really crazy, but I will do it anyway. I will add the matte yellow from the Mvndi Mvkevp palette and add it just next to the shimmer and blend it out. Now I will add the holographic shade from the Mvndi Mvkevp palette and add it in the negative wing. Now I will go in with the red shimmer from the Mvndi Mvkevp palette and add it on my lower lash line. Now it's time to dip into the Ladybug Glow palette and add a brow bone highlight and an inner corner highlight. Before I leave, I will just talk about my thoughts about those palettes. I will start with the Mvndi Mvkevp Stopping by the Woods palette. First of all, I absolutely adore this color story. I have been using this palette non-stop and I literally can't put it down because it's so good, it's so versatile, and I love the unique color story. It's so fantastic, so to say. Mvndi Mvkevp has another palette called Ego Death, and I also have review up on my channel if you're interested to hear my thoughts about that palette. But I feel like the Stopping by the Woods is such a level up when it comes to formula. Not that Ego Death palette is bad, it's just that this one is so superb. It's like probably one of the best palettes that I have tried during 2023. This palette has a couple of different formulas, which is my preference because I love a palette that offers a lot of different textures, because you have a lot more to play with when you have a palette like that. The shimmers are a mix of super sparkly, intense shimmers. There are also some more, I wouldn't call them satin, but almost like satin shimmers that you could almost use like in the place of mattes, and it also contains a very beautiful holochrome shade. And if you did see my other review of the Ego Death palette, I was a little bit that holo shade didn't work that well for me, but I have nothing bad to say about this holographic shade in Stopping by the Woods palette. There is also a holographic glitter in this palette, and it's a nice formula. It's like pressed glitter usually are. I feel like it performs the best when you use a glitter glue, of course, but also if you have something underneath, because it's not fully opaque on the lids. Still a beautiful glitter, and if you are into glitter, I think that you would enjoy it. And the mattes, they are super good. They are really easy to work with. They have enough depth to my liking and very blendable and nice overall. I feel like this palette is really a hit in my book, and I literally can't wait to see what the brand will come out with next. Next up is the Ladybug Glow Krampus Continued palette, which actually is a sister palette to the Krampus Eve palette that I did review a couple of months ago. It's also a review up on my channel if you are interested to hear my thoughts about that palette. I will just compare the two palettes so you can see how they look like, and I need to apologize in beforehand because I'm very messy when I'm using my makeup, so excuse me if those palettes are very dirty. You can see the color stores are very different, but they still complement each other and they are really nice together. I haven't used them together, but I can already see that they will go nice together. And when it comes to the Krampus Continued, I absolutely adore this grungy and almost bright color story. It's not often I say this about a grungy palette, but it's both a mix of bright and dark muted colors, which I really love. The shimmers are superb. I absolutely adore those shimmer options. There is a black shimmer that has a slightly more dry formula. I feel like it applies the best when you use your fingers. All of the shimmers performs really nice on the eyes, and the mattes are really nice too. I feel like they are maybe slightly less pigmented than the Mvndi Mvkevp formula, for example, but it's still very workable and the shade options are really nice. I also really enjoy the beautiful cover. It's made by my friend Kitty, and she will also actually launch her own brand very soon, so I'm super excited to see what she will come out with. I think that her brand will be based on folklore, I think it's called in English, and that's really exciting. I'm always curious about the different fables and different stories from before and things like that, so I'm really excited to see what she will come up with. But back to her palette, I have really been inspired when I have been using this palette, and I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to use it more, especially in conjunction with the other Krampus palette. And last but not least, I will talk about the Beautymoon in the Bleak Midwinter palette. It's a very beautiful color story with a lot of shimmers, and that's actually my only downside with this palette, that it only contains one matte, and this makes it not a stand-alone palette for me. If it did have more dark shimmers, maybe I could see it as a stand-alone palette, but for me personally, I prefer mattes that goes with this palette. But other than that, it's a really nice palette. I really enjoy the color options. There is a couple of different formulas. For example, there is a couple of super sparkly and intense shimmers. There is some more satin-like shimmers. There is some very intense duochromes, and yeah, overall it's a really nice palette, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. And something that I appreciate about this color story is that it's not any traditional winter palette, so I can actually see myself reaching for it during both summer and spring, and I mean, maybe not autumn because it's a little bit too light for that, but spring, winter and summer, it's perfect. I'm not someone who actually use makeup based on the season, but I know that some of you are like that, and therefore I wanted to point it out. So if you're into this color story, I feel like you would be really happy with this palette. The packaging is really cute too. So my friends, this was all for this video, but I hope that you did enjoy this mini review roundup thingy. Please let me know in the comments if you did enjoy this concept, or if you want me to do a review per palette, or if it doesn't matter to you. I'm always curious about your feedback, so please let me know what you think about it. And I'm really excited to see you in my next one. Have a great day. Bye bye. And I will compare them. Whoops, my palettes are quite dirty. Wait a second. Very